Morning, everyone. So today, right now, we're out at our Saving Soils Camelina. This project is in partnership with RBC and the Weston Foundation. And what we've done here is we seeded Joelle Camelina in the fall, and we seeded at 3 different rates. So we had a low seeding rate, medium, and a high. Then we also seeded at 2 different depths. So a shallow depth and a bit deeper depth. And then we also seeded early September, so like that first week of September and then the last week of September. And really we're growing the Camelina to help introduce more options for winter crops, and ideally to hold the soil in place in the fall and utilize moisture in the fall and also in the spring. So saving the soil, utilizing moisture, and having a different crop in our rotation, and maybe different markets that we can hit, so kind of overall diversity. Out here we can see some of these blank spots here. It appears that our early seeding timing didn't fare so well for survivability over the winter, but our late seeding date fared a lot better, and that's very interesting. We'll have to see how the yield kind of shakes out here on our church location. We had 2 locations. One was our church, like I just mentioned, and then we had another location across the road under irrigation on our pivot site. So we had kind of a lower moisture and a higher moisture locations. We had a lot more winter kill on our lower moisture site and a lot less kill on our irrigated site. So that's kind of interesting as well. So now we're out at the pivot site across the road, and what we're finding is our early seeding date survived really good and gave us a lot better weed control. So we had good survivability overall. Even our late seeding survived good, but the difference really comes in weed control. So the late ones have a lot more weeds. It looks like seeding rate matters as well, so a high seeding rate even on the late did better, but definitely those early plots are looking the best compared to the late seeding. We noticed in the fall that our early seeding date and our high rate looked the best. We got the best soil coverage with the plant, the canopy closed basically before freeze up, which was really awesome to see. Whereas our late seeding, we had smaller plants, not as good soil coverage through the winter, but again, it survived way better, and it did start growing pretty quickly because Camelina does grow quickly. So even in the spring when we had good temperatures, it finally did, cover the soil and start growing good. So it's interesting conditions and just results there. So kind of from what we're seeing, that higher seeding rate, shallower depth, and that later seeding is doing really good on this drier location. So stay tuned for some of that data coming out. This is a 2-year trial, so we will have some good data coming, and watch out for it on our website and at any of our events. Thanks.